Welcome back to Investing Talk Podcast. Today, we're going to be looking at Nebius Group,
Okay.
a company making some serious waves in the AI infrastructure sector.
Yeah.
They trade on the Nasdaq exchange under the ticker symbol NBIS.
Nebius, yeah, they really illustrate the excitement, but also the volatility
Right.
of investing in these emerging technologies.
And we have seen some pretty big swings in Nebius' stock price lately.
Oh, absolutely.
What is going on with this roller coaster?
Yeah.
And should investors be worried?
Well, so on February 12th, the stock dipped by 5.12%, closing at $39.30.
Okay.
But, if we pull back a bit, we see in the 2 weeks leading up to that,
Yeah.
the stock had surged over 32%.
Oh, wow. That is
Yeah.
a big swing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So are we looking at a risky bet here?
It definitely falls into the high risk category.
Okay.
The average daily movement is over 7%, which means,
Wow.
it's prone to some pretty big fluctuations.
Yeah, okay.
But here's the thing. Despite all that volatility,
Right.
the overall trend is positive.
Oh, okay.
We're seeing clear buy signals, which suggests that the stock is on an upward trajectory.
So for those with a high risk tolerance, there
Yeah.
could be some serious potential rewards.
Potentially, yeah. And this bullish sentiment,
Yeah.
it's not just, a gut feeling.
Right.
Technical analysis also backs up this strong buy recommendation for Nebius.
Okay, so break it down for us.
Yeah.
What are the technical indicators saying?
So for starters, the stock's been trading consistently above both the 50-day and 200-day moving averages.
Mm-hmm.
These are, key indicators of momentum.
Right.
And the fact that Nebius is trading above them suggests a strong, sustained
Okay.
upward trend.
So this isn't just, some random spike.
Right.
There's actually
Exactly.
real strength behind this movement.
Exactly. We're also seeing the stock breaking through resistance levels, which are basically price points where the selling pressure has previously prevented it from moving higher.
Okay. Yeah.
This breakthrough indicates there's more room for the price to climb.
That's certainly encouraging. Anything else in the
Yeah.
technical analysis that stands out to you?
The trading volume.
Okay.
So on February 14th, we saw over 29 million shares traded,
Wow.
which is significantly higher than the average.
Okay.
This tells us there's a lot of interest in Nebius right now. Further evidence of that strong momentum we've been discussing.
A lot of buzz, strong technicals,
Right.
powerful combination.
Yeah.
But what's fueling this excitement? Is it just hype?
Well,
Or is there something more substantial to Nebius's potential?
to understand Nebius's prospects, we need to look beyond just the charts.
Mm-hmm.
Look into their fundamentals, starting with their upcoming earnings report.
Okay.
So they're scheduled to release Q4 2024 earnings on February 20th,
Oh, right.
and analysts are eagerly awaiting those results.
So just a few days away.
Yeah.
What are the projections?
No.
Are we expecting a blowout quarter, or are there some red flags investors should be aware of?
The projections are pretty intriguing. Analysts are forecasting an EPS of negative 39 cents and revenue of $5.66 billion.
Okay.
But if we look at their past performance, we see a bit of a mixed bag.
Okay.
Like, for example, in Q2 of 2024, they had a positive EPS of 68 cents.
Mm-hmm.
But Q1 and Q3 of that same year showed negative EPS.
So it's a little harder to decipher why such a mixed bag. Is this a cause for concern, or just typical growing pains for a young company in such a rapidly evolving sector?
It's probably a combination of both.
Okay.
Nebius is still a relatively young company. They're operating in a high-growth phase. And this can lead to volatility in their financial performance.
So some ups and downs are to be expected. Are there any specific financial metrics that investors should be paying close attention to?
Well, a couple of things stand out.
Okay.
First, Nebius has negative working capital.
Okay.
This means that they have more short-term liabilities than assets,
Mm-hmm.
which can sometimes be a sign of financial strain.
Okay.
Basically means they might struggle to cover those immediate obligations.
So that doesn't sound ideal. Is this a major red flag or something that could be,
It depends.
easily rectified?
In Nebius's case, we got to consider their overall financial health
Okay.
and growth trajectory. The second factor to consider is their leverage ratio,
Okay.
which currently stands at 2.7.
Now, I'm sure some of our listeners are familiar with leverage ratio, but
Sure.
For those who aren't, could you explain what it means and why it's important in this context?
Sure. A leverage ratio indicates how much debt a company is using to finance its assets. A higher ratio, like Nebius's 2.7, suggests that they are using a significant amount of debt to fuel their operations.
So a higher leverage ratio means greater financial risk.
Right.
But isn't debt sometimes necessary for companies to expand and grow, especially in such a fast-paced industry like AI?
Yeah.
How should investors interpret this in Nebius's case?
That's a great question, and it really highlights the balancing act of investing.
Right,
While debt can be a useful tool for growth, it also comes with obligations.
right.
If Nebius's growth doesn't, materialize as projected, that debt could become a burden.
Right.
So yeah, it's a risk factor to consider.
It sounds like there's a lot to unpack here. Exciting potential, but also some valid concerns.
Yeah,
To really get a handle on Nebius, I think we need to understand where they fit
yeah,
into the broader AI landscape, right?
exactly. And to understand that, we have to talk about their partnership with Nvidia, a giant in the AI technology world.
Nvidia, they're practically synonymous with high-performance computing, especially when it comes to AI.
Yeah.
How significant is this partnership for Nebius?
Incredibly significant.
Okay.
Nvidia wasn't just a passive investor in Nebius's $700 million funding round.
Mm-hmm.
They're also a key technological partner. Nebius is using Nvidia technology to build out their GPU clusters, including their first US-based cluster in Kansas City.
Okay, so for those of us who aren't, tech wizards,
Sure.
what exactly are GPU clusters and why are they so important for Nebius?
Think of GPU clusters as massive computing powerhouses specifically designed for AI workloads.
Okay.
They're essential for training those complex AI models and running sophisticated AI applications.
So with NVIDIA's support, Nebius has access to the infrastructure they need to scale their AI operations.
Precisely. And the partnership goes beyond just hardware.
Okay.
Nebius is also a preferred cloud service provider in the NVIDIA partner network. This gives them access to a whole ecosystem of resources and expertise,
Wow.
including cutting-edge software and engineering support.
Sounds like they got the best tools and the
Yeah,
best team on their side.
yeah.
But even with all that, the AI world is a competitive space.
Oh, for sure.
What does the competitive landscape look like for Nebius?
You're right. The AI sector is incredibly competitive. New players are emerging all the time.
Mm-hmm.
One company to watch out for is DeepSeek AI.
Okay.
They've been making waves with their recent application launch.
So Nebius isn't the only one vying for a piece of the AI pie.
No.
What impact has DeepSeek AI had on the market so far?
Their entry into the market has definitely had a noticeable impact,
Okay.
particularly on U.S. technology stocks involved in AI development.
Mm-hmm.
They're bringing new solutions to the table and shaking things up.
Okay, so the competition's heating up.
Yeah,
But let's circle back to Nebius. Given everything we've talked about,
sure.
the volatility, the financial risks, the competitive landscape, are analysts still optimistic about their future?
The overall sentiment remains bullish.
Okay.
One analyst has given Nebius a strong buy rating
Okay.
and set a 12-month price target of $51.
That's a pretty significant jump from the current price,
Yeah,
implying a potential upside of over 22%.
right.
Are there any other projections that stand out?
Some analysts are forecasting even more dramatic growth, as much as 57% over the next 3 months.
Okay.
They're predicting a high probability of the price landing between $46.27 and $71.28 within that time frame.
Wow, that's a lot to digest.
Yeah.
On one hand, we have these incredibly optimistic forecasts.
Yeah,
But on the other, we have a company with negative EPS
right.
and some financial vulnerabilities.
It's definitely a complex picture.
Yeah. It's fascinating how Nebius embodies this classic high-risk, high-reward scenario we often see in tech,
Right.
especially in a field as dynamic as AI.
Yeah, like navigating uncharted territory, right?
Exactly. You could strike gold or you could end up lost in the wilderness.
But that's what makes it so thrilling for investors who have that, appetite for these types of ventures.
Right.
If Nebius manages to overcome these hurdles and actually execute their vision,
Yeah.
they could become a dominant force in the AI infrastructure space.
So for our listeners who are, trying to make sense of all this,
Sure.
what are the key takeaways they should be kind of focusing on?
Well, the first thing to remember is that Nebius is operating in a sector that's experiencing just explosive growth.
Yeah.
AI is rapidly becoming embedded in every aspect of our lives.
It's true. From the apps on our phones to the cars we drive, AI is, changing the world as we know it.
And Nebius is positioning itself to be a crucial enabler of this transformation
Yeah.
by providing that fundamental infrastructure
Right.
for AI development and deployment.
They're essentially building the digital foundation for the AI revolution.
Precisely. The second key takeaway is that Nebius has secured a powerful ally
Right.
in Nvidia.
Mm-hmm.
This partnership gives them access to, cutting-edge technology, financial resources, and a vast network of experts.
It's a significant advantage in a field as competitive and as fast-paced as AI.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But, it's important to remember that even with these advantages, Nebius isn't without its risks.
Of course, yeah.
We talked about, the financial concerns, the high volatility of the stock,
Right.
the fierce competition in the AI sector.
It's a complex equation with a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
So with all that in mind, what should investors be watching for in the coming weeks and months?
The upcoming earnings report on February 20th is a major event to keep an eye on.
Okay.
The results could either validate those optimistic projections
Right.
or raise further questions about Nebius's ability to execute on those promises.
It's a critical moment that could provide some really valuable insights into their financial health and growth trajectory.
Beyond the earnings report, any news regarding Nebius's internal restructuring plans will be very telling.
Okay.
Are they streamlining operations, developing new products, expanding into new markets?
Right.
These are all questions that investors will be eager to have answered.
It's like trying to piece together a puzzle.
Right.
Yeah.
And don't forget about the competitive landscape.
Yeah.
Keep an eye on companies like DeepSeek AI and
Yeah.
how their actions are impacting Nebius and the broader AI sector.
So with all these factors at play, it seems like Nebius's future is kind of hanging in the balance.
Yeah.
What's your overall assessment? Do you think they have what it takes to become a leader in the AI infrastructure space?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's impossible to predict the future with certainty, but
Right.
Based on the available information, I'd say Nebius has a fighting chance.
Okay.
They're operating in a high-growth market. They have a strong partnership with Nvidia,
Right.
and they're making some strategic moves to position themselves for success.
But they also face, some significant challenges,
Right.
including financial risks and intense competition.
Yeah.
Investors need to weigh these factors carefully.
Absolutely.
To make their own informed decision.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's no guaranteed outcome in this scenario.
Yeah.
It all comes down to Nebius's ability to execute their vision
Yeah.
and navigate those complexities of the AI landscape.
It's a high-stakes game, and the next few months will be crucial for Nebius.
For sure.
We'll certainly be watching closely to see how it all unfolds.
Yeah, me too.
Now, before we wrap up our discussion on Nebius Group,
Okay.
let's take a moment to remind our listeners to subscribe to Investing Talk podcast.
And be sure to share this episode with your fellow investors who might be interested in Nebius and the AR sector.
We'd also love to hear your thoughts and perspectives.
Yeah.
Leave us a comment.
Definitely.
And let us know what you think about Nebius Group and their prospects for the future.
We appreciate your engagement and look forward to continuing this conversation.
Welcome back to Investing Talk podcast.
We're wrapping up our look at Nebius Group.
Yeah, it's been quite a ride, exploring their story.
They've given us a lot to think about.
Yeah.
Nebius is a prime example of, the excitement and the challenges that come with investing in these emerging technologies like AI.
Yeah, it's like being on the cutting edge of innovation with all the potential rewards and risks.
Exactly. And one of the key takeaways, I think, from our discussion today is, the importance of doing your own research.
Absolutely. Investors should never blindly follow the hype or rely solely on someone else's opinion.
Yeah, it's crucial to, dig into those details,
Right.
Understand the company's financials, assess that competitive landscape, and consider the potential risks.
And most importantly, align your investment decisions with, your own financial goals and risk tolerance.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Nebius has a lot of potential, but it's not a guaranteed winner.
Right.
There are factors that could propel them to success, but also factors that could lead to setbacks.
It's a high-stakes game.
It is.
And investors need to be prepared for both possibilities.
That's the nature of investing in emerging technologies. We're witnessing the birth of a new industry, and companies like Nebius are at the forefront of this revolution.
It's an exciting time to be an investor, but it also requires, careful consideration and a willingness to embrace uncertainty.
Well said.
Yeah.
As we conclude our discussion on Nebius Group, we encourage you to continue following their story and stay informed about the latest developments in the AI landscape.
Knowledge is power, especially in the world of investing.
Absolutely.
And don't forget to subscribe to Investing Talk podcast for more insightful discussions on companies and trends shaping the financial markets.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
We appreciate you joining us for this episode.
Yeah.
Be sure to share it with your fellow investors and leave us a comment with your thoughts on Nebius Group.
We appreciate your engagement, and until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and stay invested.